you're thinking about selling your home and you're interviewing realtors, I'm Courtney Atkinson with the Atkinson Team, and I want to tell you some questions that you should definitely be asking when you speak to these agents. Now, of course, I'm advocating that you include us in that list, so that should go without saying, but I do want to give you some tips, okay? So first thing, how long have you been in business? Now, when you look at our team and our track record, the support that we provide, we've been around a long time. We've sold a lot of real estate. And that's going to be the next question. How many properties have you and your team sold? What kind of collective knowledge do you share? What kind of support do you have? One of the things that a lot of home sellers don't realize is that there's so many unique things happening in transactions. We get questions all the time, despite having sold as much real estate as we have. We're often putting our heads together as a leadership team and thinking, okay, what should this agent do in this particular circumstance? And we have a 5-minute lead time to getting those questions answered. That's just our commitment to the agents on our team. I want you to ask agents about their marketing budget, okay? Some are gonna look at you with a blank stare, some are gonna give you a real number, and then I want you to go deep on that and ask them exactly what they're doing. And it should make sense, they should be able to explain it, but it should also be complex because, let's be honest, there's a gazillion different ways to market a property, and many of them are better than others. And so I'm just gonna say, ask the question, push deep, and trust your judgment. If it sounds like bullshit, it probably is. And if it sounds true and really, truly technical and awesome, yeah, it's probably true. And so that's something that you're gonna wanna consider. But it doesn't end there. And this is where it's getting interesting. One of the things that I find that is lost on some home sellers, and it'll make sense to you once you hear it, is, well, what does the agent do when somebody actually inquires? Okay, so if you're marketing online, for example, where does that lead actually go to? They go to a CRM? What CRM? What's your follow-up protocol for a new lead that comes in? So imagine somebody's on our website, okay, and they're asking questions about your listing, okay? They'll fill out a form. A lot of times folks don't want to speak to us, right? They're not ready to get on the phone with an agent. They're just kind of casually cruising at nighttime or whatever. And so they'll ask these questions online. What you're gonna find is that when that happens, if it happens, with most agents, they simply don't get back to people. And on our team, for example, we have a speed to lead protocol of 5 minutes. So we commit between the hours of 9 a and 9 p to getting back to anybody that inquires on our website or by phone or whatever within 5 minutes. And then we've got a follow-up protocol as well that we're gonna follow up 10 times in 10 days. Not to be a hassle, but because we recognize that when a person has taken the energy and effort to inquire, and there's lots of statistics to support this, that the greatest opportunity to close them on a sale of that property is in the first 10 days. And listen, if we can't sell them your property in that first 10 days, at very least, we've got a system that'll put us in a position to build rapport and trust with that person. And then when they're ready down the line, we can sell them something else. So it really serves two purposes. The first purpose is making sure that we're doing the work that we've promised you, the home seller, and spending our marketing dollars wisely, and equally importantly, having a system in place behind the scenes to deal with the opportunities that we're creating for you. Qualify those buyers, get their questions answered, get them into a showing if they want to see the property. And if they're not ready just yet, then the second opportunity comes to us to work with them and sell them something else. The next thing I want to ask, I would want you to ask, is tell me what some of your scripts are, okay? Any good agent should have a textbook full of scripts. And a lot of them are going to say, what do you mean? Well, I'll give you an example of one of ours, okay? So if somebody inquires general terms, here's the out-of-the-box script that we're going to use for people when we're calling them. Hi, is this Joan? Hey, Joan, it's Courtney Atkinson calling from the Atkinson Team. Hey, Joan, I wanted to say thanks for visiting my website. Joan, looks like you were checking out some properties in the west side of town. I wanted to say thanks for that, Joan. Hey, Joan, tell me, when are you thinking about making your move? Now, we don't have time in this video for me to tell you all the psychology from my saying Joan's name 4 times and my using the phrase tell me, or asking her to tell me when instead of what she's looking for or who's involved or whatever. There's very, very intentional reasons for every single element of that script. All researched, all tested and proven by our team and the thousands of agents that I've coached across North America over the last, 15 years. So you need to know that whoever you're hiring is competent, that they have the experience, the expertise, the training, the systems, the background, the marketing, the support, the coaching to be able to represent your best interest. Because for most people, their primary residence is their biggest investment. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are at stake. And you have to be able to trust someone who's an excellent negotiator, who's well-trained, and who, if they have questions, is able to get a hold of somebody nearly immediately. Because there are always questions. I have questions. So make sure that you're asking those questions when you're interviewing agents. And if you'd be so kind to give us a shout, we would love the opportunity to chat with you about your future, what your home sale might look like, and maybe even be a part of your transition to your next home. I'm Courtney Atkinson with the Atkinson Team. I appreciate your time. Take good care.